Hey YouTube, Red Eyes 115 here, bring you subterror ghost tricks. Now this is also a Duel Links video idea I had, but when I actually went to Duel Links, which there should be a screenshot up now, ghost tricks really don't have too much of the support in game at the moment. Right now you can get the ghost trick cards by basically leveling up bones and or defeating bones in a duel. Now the ghost tricks cards that we do have in Duel Links is literally only Stein and Witch. These are the only two monsters in well, we have more ghost trick monsters in Duel Links, but as far as what I want to be the core for the ghost tricks, since ghost tricks are mainly going to be our engine, well, they're going to be our support, and subterrors are the main bread and butter of the deck. But anyway, we don't have Ghost Trick Mary here, which is basically another way for us to special summon a ghost trick from the deck. She's basically there to thin the deck for us. Then we don't have Lantern, which is basically disruption for our opponent when they try to attack us directly. Basically think of this as a kite warrior. He just goes to the field, special summon, negate the attack, and then next turn we can flip him face up and set one of our subterrors for free because of it. Flip him face up and then back down. But then we also don't have Ghost Trick Doll, which is almost the same thing, except when she's flipped face up, during the end phase, change as many face up monsters on the field as possible to face down defense. Then you can special summon a Ghost Trick monster from your deck in face down defense. So she's more deck thinning. Like basically for the Ghost Trick engine is basically thinning the deck, trying to get the Ghost Trick stuff out of your deck as fast as possible, and then take advantage of their effects to special summon into these subterror monsters. And speaking of before I go over to the subterror section of this video, the only cards in this deck that we don't have in Duel Links for, well, ghost tricks, or not ghost tricks, subterrors, is Subterror Guru, Subterror Nemesis Archer, and Subterror Fiendus. And we also don't have the Link monster because, well, we don't have Link monsters in Duel Links. Subterror Behemoth Fiendus. And is there any other ones? Oh, we also don't have Subterror Succession. But even without these cards, this deck could be okay in Duel Links. But I'm pretty sure just both versions of the deck, because of how they play, they could both get screwed over by a black ring constantly popping or constant negating, which is common in Yu-Gi-Oh! To get constantly negated. Oh, and then we don't have the Subterror Field spell, the Hidden City, which more than ever that they need in Duel Links right now. Yeah, but besides that, for Duel Links, the core of the deck will probably be 3 of the Ghost Tricks, Ghost Trick Wits, and probably one or two Frankenstein. It just depends how fast you want to search your Ghost Trick Venice and Ghost Trick Scare. And I would suggest this if you're playing Subterrors, because we do have Ghost Trick Scare and Duel Links. You just have to level up bones to get it. And basically what you can do is, if you're already doing what you're supposed to with Subterrors, you can activate this, force flip up the Behemoth, and then go ahead and activate their effects just in case your opponent trying to screw you over. But I haven't actually got a match yet where I got to use Ghost Trick Scare yet, so I don't know if it will cost the Subterror some miss timing or not. So if you know that, go put it in the comment section below. But hey, I might find out while I'm playing right today. Anyway, besides that, I'm guessing, like I said, the core of the deck for Duel Links will most likely be 3 Witches, 2 Steins, of course 2 Urtrix, 1 of you to control your opponent's monsters, and then 2 of him, 2 of the Nemesis Warrior. And now, also in Duel Links, we do not have Book of Moon, and of course we don't have swords, or well, neither the swords or revealing or concealing light. So these won't be in the deck either for the Duel Links version. We would run a Subterror Cave, And yes, we do have shallow graves, so you could use this in Duel Links to special summon your subterrors back to the field and face down and then flip them back up. Except I'm pretty sure you can't flip it back up the same turn, so don't take that. Don't take that advice. Don't say, come back to this video and be like, hey, you told me that you could flip the subterror monster back up after you use shallow grave. I'm only 20% of that, and I did not say that. But yeah, let's get into some games here and let's actually show off the deck. Alright, so let's draw our hand here. Alright, so this hand right here is okay for what we got. So the play here is actually to play the hidden city. Well, let's set this first, the final battle. Set this to do some damage. Activate the hidden city so we can go ahead and get to searching. Now this lets us search any of our subterror monsters. I don't think it lets us search the spells, but we basically searching one of our behemoths out, setting the dome, and then we're going to go ahead and pass the turn to our opponent. Okay, so we're revealing light is forcing up the dome, which we could activate these, but we don't need to deal with damage right now. He force triggers Doll's effect, which means at the end of this turn, if he doesn't attack, we're going to be able to flip Doll back face down and special summon one ghostrick monster from our deck. And even though I said this is like a kite word, I'm going to go ahead and spell summon it because I wasn't thinking when I actually did this duel. Okay, we got another behemoth. So what we're gonna do here is, while I look through the effect, is flip up Doll. Doll's effect triggers. We're gonna change Doll's effect. Well, we're not gonna change her effect. Flip her face down. Now we're gonna change her effect where our behemoth. I'm not even gonna attempt to pronounce these monsters' names. Go ahead and set it face down or face up. Activate its effect, flip it face down. Activate our other subterror behemoth in our hand. We're gonna go ahead and spell summon him face down or face up. Activate his effect. Face down. Then we're gonna go ahead and activate the ceasefire, which flip up all of our face down monsters. But just for added bonus, we're gonna go ahead and flip up our monster with final battle, just to banish their face down, well, soon to be face up. And our opponent takes damage for each of the monsters that just got flipped up, and our behemoth gets to banishing. I would just check if we could banish the swords there. You can only banish the monsters. Now, what we're gonna do here is go ahead and set Lantern back, even though, I wouldn't do that because in the next gameplay where we actually go against a real person, from what we did here, I realized I could have got another summon, but it didn't matter at this point anyway because my field was full. Now, so far the only other thing I noticed about this deck is that more or less it will feel like a stall deck, just because 99% of the time you're going to have your monsters face down, just because you're playing really cautiously, unless you feel like going in recklessly and just going all in no matter your opponent's face downs. It's just I did not think about back row when I was building this deck. All I thought about was getting their effects off by constantly flipping them face up and face down, so I mainly put cards that deal with that aspect of flipping your monsters. And I could, in the sense we have this one right here, this subterror that I just used as effect, I really didn't care much about my opponent's monster's fate because I was just flipping face down and negate them, so it was just kind of like, I don't care what your monsters do. But we're going to flip up this we got here, our level 7 behemoth, banishes face down, activate its effect, set face down since we kind of don't have a point to keep our monsters face up because you here decided to activate Swords Revealing Light, which kept us for attacking for the next couple of turns. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and activate Final Battle, which will allow us to flip up our level 7 Behemoth, activate its effect, and get rid of the Swordfish. Yeah, basically this deck is a real heavy control deck, and I love this about the deck. But we're just gonna activate its effect again, throw him face down because it was a good sword to keep us from attacking you. Okay. That does nothing for him, but once again, Final Battle. Use the first effect, flip over our level 7 Behemoth, use its effects, and banish. Okay, now that it's back to us. Oh. I have to read the rest of Subterror. Well, Hidden City, because I didn't realize it had an effect there that I could activate. But in this first door, I tried my best to keep from using the Link monster, just because I was trying to sell this deck with only cards that we actually do have in Duel Links, while keeping it consistent enough to be able to be a computer. Okay, now this really does nothing for him except keeps him alive for another turn. Like, did we get this in the new box for Former Pals? But anyway, he gets to negate the attack and special summon 2 monsters, or add 2 monsters from his deck to his hand. That combined attack equals the monster we just tried to attack with. And then he's barely gonna live here just because our Ghostrick monsters did not have enough attack points to deal the killing blow. But because of our Doll's effect, all of our monsters are gonna get flipped face down at the end phase. So that's why I kind of wish we had Doll and Duel Links, because you could go on an assault in Duel Links with your subterrors, and then Doll would just flip them all back face down. Get them ready again, and you'll be all ready to set off with the Final Battle once more. Now the computer activated its pendulum scales, and the only reason I didn't use Final Battle here is because, yeah, pendulum monsters are still monsters, but when they're in the spell and trap zone, they consider spells and traps, so I didn't think our level 7 Behemoth there could actually target them. But here I use Final Battle to actually go ahead and banish the friend donkey. And let me check, because I'll just, yeah, see, we can't target the pendulum spell and trap cards, or the pendulum monsters in the spell and trap card zone. But we went ahead and stopped Odd Eyes because I didn't want this duel to drag on longer than it needed to. So we're using our Subterror Fiendus in our hand and discarding it and targeting our one face-up Behemoth right there, throwing him face down to negate Odd Eyes' effect. Now this is another thing Subterrors need in Duel Links to help with the whole rule change with face down monsters. So then we're just gonna flip him back up again on our turn, banish his face down, and go for game, I believe. Or I'm just gonna be a prick and flip all of them face up. Yeah, I'm gonna be a prick and flip all of them face up, and I just recently recorded this and I don't remember what I did. Yay. And I just waiting for exact change, okay. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed that duel. I'll see y'all in the next one where we actually go against a real person. Let's see how that goes. Alright guys, here we are again. Against God of War. Can't really see. But anyway, we And after activating the hidden city, we search our behemoth so we can get the popping. Well, get the setting. No, it's popping basically, we're banishing. And I'm basically just looking at my hand against him. Now this guy brought me back because he's actually playing Pendulum Magicians, which was one of my few successful decks in the TCG before Konami nerfed every, well not nerfed, but banned every single card in the deck to where it wasn't playable anymore. But anyway, we just went ahead and played our, I think his name is Nemesis. Yeah, I think that's Nemesis. But anyway, he had to play his odd eyes in the pendulum scale and unlocked our offline duel with Yuya. He's activating Spiral Strike to destroy our Nemesis. Oh, it does destroy the hidden city. And since we didn't have Phoenix, we could not negate that. Okay, and then he activates Supreme King Gate Infinity. And he's gonna go ahead and pendulum summon it, and I forgot what he pendulum summoned here, so let's see. Oh, I Phantom Dragon. Actually, I have the manga this card is from. Cause I think I have one copy of Phantom Dragon in real life. Yeah, and he go ahead and kills our Nemesis. But we go ahead and chain our, well, eyes of for Mary and get to special summoning our pseudo Kite Rory. And we still lose the Nemesis, but at least we have more defense. And plus, you can always bring the Nemesis back when you flip summon or set a monster, I believe. And Odd Eye's going to use the second effect to destroy itself in the pendulum zone and get to searching for an Odd Eye's card, well, a pendulum card. But now it's back to our turn. We drew our second hidden city. And we're going to go ahead and activate it to get to searching. Now we're going to go ahead and add our guru. Yep. And now that we added the guru to the hand, we're going to flip summon our lantern. Normal summon our ghostrick witch. We're going to use Witch's effect and actually flip our opponent's monster face down. Now, I didn't know that we could do that. When I read the card in the beginning, I was thinking the card was saying when it's flipped face up, we get to set our opponent's monster face down. But we can actually do that anytime. And then we use its own effect to flip it face down while our opponent thinks about what we're doing. And as you see, unlike the offline duel we had, the subterror's effect didn't trigger for Witch. For some reason it triggered for Lantern, which confuses me. But we're going to go ahead and set our first level 7 behemoth and set our second one as well with its effect. And then we're going to go ahead and pass the turn to our opponent. Okay, he activates Supreme King Gate 0, which does, the Supreme King Gates are good, but mainly only if Zork's in play. But it has pendulum scales, they're amazing, because scale 0 and 13, that's a symphony. But anyway, he attacks, we activate our hidden city, which, once again, I wish this was in Duel Links. We get to flip summon all levels of Behemoth, activate its effect, and get the banishing out of Phantom Dragon. And then because we did flip summon, our Nemesis in our graveyard effect activate, and we get the spell summon. And now that I see his name, I know it's not Nemesis. I'm sorry for saying the wrong name of this card. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead. Oh no, we haven't used this effect yet. Okay. But we're gonna go ahead and set this card, and then I believe here we pass the turn, or we try to think about what our opponent's trying to do here. Okay, so the careful route and went ahead and set one of them, and then flipped up the other one, and then I believe we go in for the attack here. And then our opponent try to hit us with the mirror force. Because like I said, this deck doesn't have a way to deal with back row, so sometimes you have to think smart. Now if I had another level 7 behemoth in my deck, what we could have done is, yeah, I'd go ahead and go for the tribute like I did here. And just tribute a fewer amount of cards. Sorry, I'm stumbling on my words here. And still be able to keep our monsters safe in a sense. Because basically we had to tribute monsters to equal level 12 here. Which got us our behemoth and kept him safe from the mirror force that was about to yeet all our monsters in attack mode. But anyway, I went ahead and passed the turn here. And this guy, he was really good, and I really enjoyed the match. And it really got to a point where I could not use the Link monster anymore. I had to literally use the Link monster to be consistent and learn what the Link monster does at the same time. Because Link monster I have not read, like I was still in the TCG when that Link monster came out, and look at that nice eye summoning animation. But I didn't pay it any mind because I wasn't playing subterrors when that card came out. But anyway, he summons a card that I don't have any idea what it is. I'm just checking this right here, and just in case that card popped, because like I said, I did not know what that monster do. I know what Odd Eyes does, don't know what the other one did. So to keep my face down safe from any popping that he might have tried to do, I went ahead and banned this or second copy of the Behemoth level 7. I'm just saying Behemoth level 7 so it won't be, so it'll be more descriptive. But our face downs was safe that turn, and so what I did here is flip this face up, and since he was just going to use those pendulum scales to bring Odd Eyes back, I think I yeet Odd Eyes here. Yep. And then because we flip faced up, we get, I'm just going to say Warrior, Subterror Warrior. So I see part of his name is Warrior now. Sorry, I thought I got a message on my phone. But anyway, we're also going to flip this up to throw his monster back face down. And also set our subterrors to keep them safe just in case he had a second mirror force. And then we're just going to go ahead and pass the turn here. I forgot what this face down was, but I don't think he ever flipped it up. I think it was really a card that was specific for certain cards in his deck, instead of being protective against what we have. Oh yeah, that was Perform Ancestral Magician. Sorry if I mispronounced it, speech impairment, but oh well. But I did not know what this card did until I read it there. It just depends on if you have an Xyz, Synchro, Pendulum. But unfortunately, we was only playing Xyz for him, and we didn't have any out on the field, so when that card special summoned, he did not benefit. And to top it off, we also didn't have a monster in play, or Xyz monster in play. But we went ahead and yeeted that so we wouldn't see it again. And because I was thinking about how critically he was special summoning, I decided to go ahead and go into the link here. Even though I just basically gave away the only high level, high attacking monsters in my deck. Because those were our last 2 copies of those. But luckily, the one thing I did remember about the Link Monsters Effect is that it does gain an attack point boost for the monsters you use. But we decided to use our Ghostrick Vanish, show off the doll in our hand to keep our monsters safe. And then we went ahead and set our doll. And then we passed the turn. Or no, we tried to deal damage. And now we pass the turn. I don't remember what he does this turn. Okay, he just sets something face down. But we flip up our doll, and this is the part where I start like forgetting what I did, because I got to learn what the Link monster do when you flip up a monster, and it lets us get back our subterror monsters in our grave that we basically use for the summon and just subterrors in general. But I started misplaying with my ghost tricks because I got hyped about that effect and set doll instead of letting her stay face up for her effect. But I flip up the lantern and flip it face down because I noticed, unlike earlier in the duel, I was not getting the special summon effect of my subterror monster, because hey, see, we just got that monster back, and from my assumption, I would have to say I'm guessing the Link monster does not allow you to special summon any more subterror monsters if you get one back from the grave. And we ended up destroying his purple poison magician, which I'm surprised he didn't go for the Link. But I understand Hidden City is more priority because it keeps my back row safe. And plus it also allows me to force a subterror effect on them. But he ended up pinning something back to purple poison, which, because I played Pendulum Magicians, I know I am not attacking this thing again. We flip up the doll to, I believe this turn I tried one more time to actually like pop off with the whole special summoning of subterror monster for my deck, or for my field hand. Sorry, of subterror for my hand. But when I tried this, it just constantly kept failing. So since it was obvious to me that we weren't going to get this effect off, I just decided to set the Book of Moon and pass the turn just in case our opponent tried to do anything sketchy on us. But because I actually played Doll's effect properly, we got to special summon a doll from our deck, but since one ghostrick monster got flipped face down. And then he normal summons another Performer Power Celestial Magician. I just thought something with that card. It just similar how Performer Power Odd-Eye Synchron has multiple ways to search it out. That one has 2 ways to search it out as well. And yes, I know Performer Power Odd-Eye Synchron actually have 3 ways to search it. But then he kind of gets the upper hand against us with Supreme King Dark Rebellion. Because one thing this monster does well is gain attack points, and I forgot how it worked since it's been so long since I actually used that card. But for you who don't know, what Supreme King Dark Rebellion does is if I attack into it while I still have Xyz material like it does now, basically my monster's attack points are going to drop to 0 and it gets a big boost. And I'm basically screwed. So since I forgot about that effect, we make a big mistake here. Ooh. Once again, sorry if I just blew into the mic. But anyway, we flip up our doll. Flip up the lantern. Flip up our second doll. Now I think here we decide to actually like special tribute summon our behemoth, since we realized their effects are not going to trigger. Oh no, we actually decided to XE summon into one of the ghostrick monsters, which was part of the inspiration for this deck, because mainly I was going to be a pure ghostrick deck until I realized I'm trash with ghostricks and that I do not have enough cards to build a pure ghostrick deck. But anyway, that card right, the main inspiration of the deck was to basically show off the XC's monsters, because similar to how Brad HD doing right now on his channel, by the way, link in the description, go support Brad. I'm basically trying to do a series where I show decks that we already have in Duel Links that have XC support, to show how much of a boost that archetype would get once they get the XC support. And I think, well, Ghostricks is a prime example of that, considering the one that I have on the field, Ghostrick something of mischief. I don't remember the first part of her name. Ghostrick blank of mischief. But if you give her 10 overlay units, basically 10 cards used to summon her, you get a free win. So yeah, just different Ghostricks too. Just I love a rank 1 Ghostrick, a rank 2 and 3. Is there rank 2? I'm just trying to remember right now off the top of my head. But anyway, since we did all that, and okay, I already used my normal summon this turn, so it's next turn I do that. But we're gonna go ahead and attack his face down, which is when we learned that, oh, he has an effect that screws me over. Because there I was spending the tie until he helped me remember what Supreme King not Odd Eyes Dark Rebellion effect is. Which remind me, I have to go get the latest TCG set to try to get Arc Rebellion XE Dragon to add to my collection. But anyway, our dual effects surprisingly activate even after being tributed, and we get to.
You are asking for the song like the way I do. Is that right?
No, I'm not editing that out. But anyway, our Ghostrick monster ends up helping us special summon more cards to the field. I think we set the sign. Sorry, she just ended up distracting me there. But I'm keeping that in, like I said. But yeah, since I realized we weren't going to get its effect off by constantly setting and flipping, I just decided to naturally flip, well, tribute summon them, so we can go ahead and get the W. I used his own effects to flip a face down. And remember what I was saying earlier about Ghostrick Scare? So we go ahead and flip them back face up using that card's effect. And just to keep up with this meme, we went ahead and flipped 3 of our monsters back face up, which triggered the Behemoth effect, and it did trigger the one that we just said. So no, it doesn't miss timing, and we yeeted his Dark Rebellion, or Supreme King Dark Rebellion off the field, and we got our Subterror Warrior back. And since we don't have any more Subterror cards to really look for in our deck, I think now is the point where I just decide to set this face down and attempt to go for game. because I wasn't for sure on how far he'll let me go with this. Alright, we did win this turn. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Feel free to go into Duel Links, try this deck out with what we do have for ghost tricks. But anyway, I'll see y'all in the next video. I'm out. Peace.